From the BG Podcast Network studios, brought to you by Chattahoochee Tech, this is your Paulding County News Podcast, bringing our stories to life with news, events, and what we're talking about in Paulding County. Like, follow, and subscribe to hear the latest news from the Paulding County News Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And here's what you're talking about.
Welcome to your Paulding County News Podcast. I'm Melissa Carter along with Doug Harding. An empty nester is seeking your advice on making new friends. Plus, we'll share the sweet journey of two Paulding County lifelong friends, both recently awarded for their collegiate efforts. But first, let's take a look at our top stories. The Paulding County Sheriff's Office urgently sought the public's assistance in locating a missing child over the weekend, 13-year-old Sarah Beard. She had been last seen in the vicinity of Forest Park Lane and Macklin Road on April 13th. Now, officials had asked for any information regarding her whereabouts, and we're pleased to report that she was found safe. Your cooperation was crucial in ensuring Sarah's safe return home. So good for you. This from the Paulding County Uncensored and Fox 5.
A monumental week last week for Paulding County Fire and Rescue. 12 new probationary firefighters successfully completed their rigorous recruit school, passing their national NPQ firefighter testing with flying colors. Amidst applause and pride, they were officially sworn in during a heartwarming graduation ceremony. Over the weekend, they officially embarked on their journey as firefighters, serving our community with dedication and valor. Congratulations to our newest heroes. This from the Dallas News Era.
I mean, those tasks, have you seen some of those tasks where they have to be in full gear and going up ladders and there's a time thing?
Yeah.
I mean,
you got to be in pretty good shape to be a firefighter.
Dude. And then I remember, sometimes to honor fallen firefighters in marathons and stuff, and they'll go run those things in full gear. It's amazing. No way. An important notice from the Paulding County Board of Commissioners. Please be advised that the upcoming April 23rd meetings have been canceled. Both the 10 a.m. work session meeting and the 6 p.m. board meeting have been called off due to a lack of a quorum. The next regularly scheduled meeting will take place on May 14th at 10 a.m. For any inquiries and concerns, please reach out to Rebecca Meredith at 770-443-7550 or email her at rebecca.meredith@paulding.gov. This from the Paulding County government.
Here's your weather. Possible showers this evening. Highs in Dallas and Hiram of 77, lows in the 60s. Partly cloudy tomorrow. We'll have a high in Dallas and Hiram of 84, lows in the upper 50s. And finally, Friday, partly cloudy skies with a high in Dallas and Hiram of 85, lows in the lower 60s.
We're here, Doug. I mean, just pretty weather. Not too hot, not too cold. Just right.
98.7 Chat Tech, where 98.7% of our students earn a career.
So for each of our programs at Chattahoochee Tech, we have an industry advisory committee. Those are people in each given industry that will employ our graduates when they get finished with our program.
We have students that are placed at manufacturing companies such as, let's say Glock, for example, the gun manufacturer, because they have machinery that's running 24/7 to create the guns. So all the way from that to healthcare, where like hospitals, for example, they're running 24/7 and they have machinery that needs to be running 24/7 as well.
My program is specifically for students who want to be in healthcare, but maybe don't want patient contact. Maybe they want to be in healthcare, in a healthcare field that's recession-proof and they're helping people, but maybe they don't want blood, body fluids, any of those elements in their life. So they may choose healthcare management to be on the opposite side of the patient care.
Visit chattahoocheetech.edu, where 98.7% of our students earn a career.
We're back with more of your Paulding County News Podcast.
From WSB's Facebook page, a police crackdown on illegal gambling operations busted the owner of a Georgia 24-hour food mart. Following an extensive investigations, officers discovered illegal cash payouts being offered as winnings for gambling machines inside the store. Well, Ryan Nickerson says, my grandmother hit $6,000 in a gas station one time. Look at you. And the owner didn't want to pay her because it was too high. Threatened him with the cops and the city, and then he paid. Rhonda Llewellyn said, I do believe this is going on in more gas stations than not. What makes him any different from the rest of them? Sherry McKenzie agreed. All these machines earn revenues for the store owners. You lose a lot and win sometimes. The biggest winner are these stores. Don't think they are in it for simply recreation. And Carol Stevens said, need to do away with all of them machines.
What I'm really interested in is, why do you want to go gamble at a gas station? Like, do you really need to gamble that bad?
I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. Why do we play the lottery at a gas station? Do we think that it's going to give us a better? It's a knee-jerk reaction. You're in there. You're like, wow, why don't I make a quick buck? And then you end up losing a lot. From the What's Happening in Paulding County Facebook page, Robin Lewis says, as my youngest prepares to graduate from high school and go off to the military, I've realized that I've spent my entire life being mom and fake wife to a man who has never appreciated me. I never took the time to make friends with anyone as I was too busy working 60 plus hours a week being mom and wife. Now that I'm single and my son is getting ready to go away, I have no one to keep me company. Any other empty nester single mamas out there who have been to hell and back and just trying to find their way in life at 40 plus looking to make new friends? Doug, we have talked about this off air, haven't we? It is harder to make friends the older you get, especially if you're, newly single like she is. Kenyo Tenyo said, find some things that you are interested in, get involved in that, and I'm sure you'll find, as I like to say, your people. Karen Rennick said, we'd love for you to come visit New Season Church. We also have small groups for various people, including single and women. Kimberly Brooks said, so vulnerable and brave writing this post. I'm 34, but always willing to have some new girlfriends. Hugs to you, and so glad you are happy and moving on with life. This is a common problem, I can tell you.
That's interesting. I don't know if she knows about the women's club in Paulding County.
That's right. She should check that out as well. There's plenty of options, but I'm glad she said something, because I do think that you forget that a lot of your friend group is either somebody you went to school with, people you work with, and now if you're retired or single or divorced or empty nest or whatever it is, when your life changes like that, it's not as easy going out to the club as you used to when you were young.
I think after people hear this, she's going to have a whole host of new friends.
Oh, I agree. Your weird story of the day. A passenger on an Air New Zealand flight from Auckland to Sydney made headlines for all the wrong reasons. After enduring a 3-hour delay in deplaning upon landing at Sydney Airport, that's important to note, 3 hours sitting on the plane on the runway. This was last December. A 53-year-old man took matters into his own hands, literally. Reports emerged that he urinated in a cup while seated, causing discomfort and disgust amongst the fellow passengers around him. The incident came to light here recently when a passenger in the same row reported the behavior to the air crew. So I guess at the time, we didn't know about it. Here we are in spring, we're learning about it. Despite being fined $600 for offensive behavior, the man's actions serve as a reminder of the importance of responsible conduct, especially in confined spaces like airplanes. This from the Associated Press. But Doug, I'm not so sure I'm that angry at him.
No, sitting 3 hours waiting, and I bet you're not allowed to get up and go use the bathroom. He was probably desperate. Well,
I bet the bathrooms were closed, right? But yeah. Is that a question of him having to go back to the galley to do it? Or, is it the fact that he peed in a cup, or is it the fact that he stayed in his seat to pee in the cup when strangers were around him? I don't know.
Inquiring minds want to know.
But yeah, he was fined $600 where the airline needs to be fined for not getting their act together and getting that plane somewhere. Anyway.
What's happening in Paulding County? We've got you covered.
Here's some events for you to get you out of the house. Saturday at 10 a.m., it's Touch a Truck at Veterans Park in Dallas. Also Saturday at 10 a.m. till noon, regular meetup at the Paulding Chess Club at Piece of Heaven Bakery in Dallas. May 11th at 7 o'clock, Masquerade Murder Mystery Dinner at the Dallas Theater and Civic Center. And finally, vendors and food trucks are needed for Hiram Rosenwald School Museum's Juneteenth celebration this summer. You can contact them for more information. And see, we were talking with earlier in this podcast, Robin Lewis. If she's listening to this, she now has options to go have fun.
Go, oh my gosh, and right there, all you got to say is Piece of Heaven Bakery. Doesn't matter what's going on there, right? It's just, but there's so many things. And listening to the podcast, you can come up with all kinds of ideas, so you're not going to be lonely for very long.
Life's a constant hustle. And at Credit Union of Georgia, our focus is crystal clear. It's all about you. Juggling a million things? We get it. That's why we're committed to providing the best service imaginable. We're not just your credit union. We're your financial allies. Knowledge is our power, from crafting basic budget plans to navigating the local home buying scene. questions popping up, we've got you covered with fast, friendly answers. Because we want you to spend more time living your life. Imagine a financial institution that truly cares. That's Credit Union of Georgia inviting you to join us. If you live, work in Bartow, Cherokee, Cobb, Dawson, Paulding, Pickens, or Union County, we want you as a member of Credit Union of Georgia family. Because here, you're not just a member, you're part of a community that cares. Ready to experience banking that revolves around you? Call us at 678-486-1111 or visit cuofga.org. Credit Union of Georgia. Your financial journey, our priority.
Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to the Paulding County News Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
All of our feature interview pieces here on the Paulding County News Podcast are presented by Credit Union of Georgia.
Let's meet some of the interesting people in our neighborhood.
Marcy Smith, thank you so much for joining us, the Dean of Business and Technical Studies there at Chattahoochee Tech. And we want to talk about a couple of things here, but the one thing I find very exciting is the aviation program. And I never thought there'd be some sort of program, but there obviously has to be, since we got planes and people that need to fix the planes and all that. So there is a program already, but there's going to be a whole lot more, isn't there?
Yes, you're right. And thank you for having me. We're currently teaching an aircraft structural technology diploma. We're teaching an avionics bench technician certificate. And we're also teaching an upholstery and trim certificate. Currently, we're using other space, but our building is ready now. We're open and into it. So our classes have moved into the facility, and then we'll have classes going through the summer, and then we'll start more sections, more cohorts in the fall of 2024.
You know, it's interesting you bring up some of these programs, because I never in a million years would have thought about, oh, wow, okay, yeah, I guess, you know, because people thinking about flying and aviation, it's just strictly about piloting, but there's obviously so many more details that go along with it. The whole physics of it, and even thinking about the upholstery. I'm like, oh, okay, that's got to be somebody's job. So that's
right.
Pretty exciting, but it's getting broader too. And you're doing a groundbreaking ceremony on the 26th. So
yes, we are.
Let's talk about that. What's going to happen with this? What's the big plan?
Well, it's a ribbon cutting ceremony. So our plan is to, of course, get people into the building. We want people to see the facility. You know, we want to officially say, hey, we're open for business. People will get to see our classrooms, our labs. We still have a lot of equipment coming in. So not everything is going to be in place on the 26th, but we're working every day to get it set up. So it's really just to kind of say, we're here, we're open, we're looking for anybody who's interested in training in the area of aviation maintenance, structures, anything like that. We're here. So it's going to be a big day. It's going to be really exciting. I'm sure the scissors will be there for the ribbon, the official cutting of the ribbon. So yeah, we're very excited about it.
Is there anything else that's going on with this besides the ribbon cutting, letting people see? Is there something else special that we can know about?
I do think we need to talk about, though, our aviation maintenance program,
okay.
That's a proposed program. We have not received approval from the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, to offer those programs, but we hope to do that soon. We have begun that process. And so we're not enrolling for those programs yet, but when we get approved, and I'm confident that we will get approved by the FAA, that is certainly not my decision to make, but we will have those programs. And those programs include an airframe technician certificate and a power plant certificate. And those are the programs that train people to be mechanics on airplanes. So they can fix the airframe part or the power plant part. And so that's going to be a very popular program, I think. And that is not yet, but we are going to talk about it at the ribbon cutting event.
Good stuff. Exciting. That's great. Aviation is certainly a fascinating area to be a part of. And I'm sure that there's probably decent money in it also.
And I understand that salaries in these areas are very good. Yes. So we're, our goal is to put students to work and to train them and get them what they need to go and get a job where they can support their family, where they can contribute to the community. And we have a long history of doing that in many, many areas. I've been privileged to work with some of our other technical programs like automotive technology, diesel technology, welding and industrial maintenance. And so this is another program that kind of goes with that. It's a transportation program. We're training students to be technicians. And there are a lot of jobs. It's a high demand career area. So we expect that our students will not have a problem finding a job once they complete our programs.
And it's one heck of a deal, too, to go to Chattahoochee Tech as well, instead of that four-year school where you're automatically, $200,000 in debt.
It absolutely is. And there's so many different financial aid options for students. It's just a really, really great place to be.
Awesome. Exciting. So the 26th at 10 a.m., it is the ribbon cutting ceremony for the aviation program.
And the Aviation Training Academy. And we're located, we're located on the campus of the Paulding Northwest Atlanta Airport. So that's another resource for our students. They'll be able to be there at the airport and they'll kind of see an airport in operation while they're able to complete their training there.
Perfect. Well, that's very exciting. Marcy, thank you so much for talking about this. I'm excited for it, and I'm not even in aeronautics or aviation myself. So
yeah, it's exciting.
Ready for takeoff?
Chattahoochee Tech Aviation Academy invites you to the grand opening at Paulding County Airport. Join us on April 26th in Dallas. The future of aviation begins at 10 a.m. with the ribbon cutting ceremony and a grand tour of our state-of-the-art facilities. Don't miss this opportunity to soar to new heights in the hangar where dreams take flight. 98.7 Chat Tech, where 98.7% of our students earn a career.
Your career in aviation is cleared for departure.
We're back with more of your Paulding County News Podcast.
In a ruling that has sparked controversy, a federal judge has dismissed a challenge to Georgia's voter ID policy for new citizens. The New Georgia Project, part of a coalition opposing the state's voter verification process, argues that this could disenfranchise newly naturalized citizens. Stephanie Jackson-Ali, policy director for the project, highlights the hurdles faced by new citizens in obtaining voting rights. Despite the ruling, concerns persist about the impact on voter access. Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger defends the policy, emphasizing its importance in ensuring election integrity. This from Fox 5.
A look at your sports, courtesy of New Season Church from the Paulding Sports Chronicle. In boys lacrosse, North Paulding defeated Walton 8-7. In boys soccer, North Paulding beat Woodland 3-1. In girls soccer, Paulding County beat McEachern 6-1.
And finally, we end with a heartwarming story featuring two former Paulding County students. Meet Charlie Sims and Natalie Wilder, who have shared a bond since their days at Hiram Elementary School. Despite attending different middle schools, their friendship endured and reunited at Hiram High School, where they graduated in 2020. Their educational journey led them to Berry College, and now, as they prepare to graduate, they've achieved remarkable success. So Natalie received the Mary C. Clement Excellence in Kappa Delta Pi Award, while Charlie was honored with the prestigious Martha Berry Outstanding Undergraduate Achievement Award at Berry's Convocation earlier this month. So let's celebrate these outstanding individuals and lifelong friends. This from the Paulding County School District, but Melissa also wants to say, hey, Charlie, Natalie, your paths have been parallel up to this point. Now, look, I don't know you, but if you into the opposite sex, I mean, Charlie and Natalie, isn't there signs here that you need to think about a lifelong friendship to continue into something else? Or am I just, am I inappropriately playing Cupid here?
Well, that's where I thought this story was going.
Right. See, exactly. And aren't you a little disappointed I didn't have to? And now they're getting married. See, that's what I hope to be able to see in the future. Sorry, Charlie and Natalie, if they're with other people and they're perfectly happy, but come on, you're meant to be together. And we will have final thoughts after this.
Whether you're new to church, have been a Christian for many years, or looking for a fresh start, you're welcome at New Season Church. New Season is a place where people can believe in God, belong to a family of believers, and become fully devoted followers. We exist so that people far from God may experience life in Christ and become fully engaged followers. Join us for one of our 2 Sunday services, 9 or 11 a.m.
Hi, this is Pastor Steve Flockhart. Whether you're new to the Paulding community or have been here since the day you were born, New Season Church is a place where all are welcome. From our exciting children and student ministries to our engaging Bible studies and small groups and events, I promise New Season Church has a place for you.
New Season Church, just off Highway 278 at 4457 Atlanta Highway in Hiram. We exist so that people far from God may experience life in Christ and become fully engaged followers. New Season looks forward to seeing your entire family this Sunday, and feel free to check us out online at newseason.cc. We believe what comes into our minds when we think about God is the most important thing about us. We look forward to seeing you Sunday at 9 or 11 a.m. at New Season Church in Hiram. Thanks for listening to today's Paulding County News Podcast. Follow and subscribe to hear the latest news from the Paulding County News Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. For you, about you, and from you. Get involved in the conversation at 404-997-8655 or info@bgadgroup.com. Did you know over 50% of Americans listen to podcasts weekly? Make sure you join us for our next episode, and be sure to share this podcast on social media with your friends and family. Add us to your Alexa Flash Briefing or your Google Home Briefing, and be sure to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
This podcast is a production of BG Ad Group. All rights reserved.
This podcast aggregate content from other sources for informational purposes and is in no way trying to infringe on the copyrights or businesses of any other entities. All content posted up on the site is used under the Fair Use Copyright Law 107. All audio, media, and articles are copyrighted to the original owners. All audio on this podcast are embedded from youtube.com and are owned by their respective copyright owners. No audio information are copyrighted or stored on our servers. The court ruled that linking or embedding copyrighted videos is not copyright infringement, even if the source video was uploaded without permission. However, we will gladly remove any audio clip upon valid request from respective copyright owners. Any owners also have the option to disable embedding his YouTube videos on other websites. News and press articles are owned by the respective copyright owners. Where possible, the appropriate accreditation or source of the article is given on the same page. The audio-video files on this site are for listening purposes only. Downloading of these files to one's computer is strictly prohibited. They are owned by the respective copyright owners. If it is in the organization's belief that the usage or specific content used on our site containing copyrighted knowledge conflicts with authorized use and or does not comply with fair use as described in the context, contact us through our contact page and we will remove the offending content immediately. Thanks for listening to the Paulding County News Podcast.